Hello everyone, I'm Havoc and this is Factorio Space Exploration Plus. We're back in this episode getting ready to go into space. I've put down a few assemblers over here making some very important things. We're making blue belts and the undergrounds and splitters to go with them. We are making space belts and the undergrounds and splitters to go with them as well, and just storing it all in the system. Now, this is slow moving, and when I say slow moving, I mean slow moving. These are pretty expensive recipes, and they are really consuming, especially time-wise as well. So we are going to have that running in the background, but we don't need those things to get into space immediately. That will be for when we start building a lot of stuff in space. Right now, we have pretty much everything we're going to need to get into space. So all we need to do is go there. Now, there's some stuff in space already, and we're going to take some more things up there. Something I've been working on as well are these space platform scaffoldings. We've got a good number of them. I started crafting space assembly machines. You'll need those as well as some other ingredients to get into the crafting that happens up in space. And then right over here is a very, very important item. Cargo landing pads. So I'm going to take and reduce this to 1. And we're going to leave it without anything taken out because I need 1 for when we come back to this planet. When we come back to the planet's surface, you need something to land on right here. And this one is just called Novice Landing Pad. You can change the name, you can give it a unique name, and you can have multiple of them. That way when you set up rocket deliveries between surfaces, such as the planet, the orbit, other planets, and other orbits, you can automate and have certain things coming here, landing and being unloaded and going where they need to go. And then have another landing pad for other things. Because something that you will find out when you start getting ready here is if there's anything in this one, it will say it is not ready for the next payload, and you can't land until it's emptied. So it's probably a good idea to have a second one later on that you can land on. Right now, I'm going to carry the second one that I have with me up into space. That way we have somewhere to aim at when we go flying up there next time. First time you go up there, it's going to send you all wild, and wherever you land is wherever you land. As soon as that goes in, our rocket is complete, and we can get ready to go into space. There is something I want to do here before we head up, and that is clean my inventory out a little bit. A lot of these things we're not going to need in space. So I'm just going to throw down this right here. We're going to empty all of these items. We can look back and see, oh, I actually need to bring that with me, and so on and so forth. Don't think we'll need chemical plants or regular assemblers. The lights, no, I think it's always day because you're in space getting hit by the sun all the time. Won't need water fill. Pressure tanks we might need, but there's specialized. We'll put them up because you need space fluid, space pipe. So there's the regular ones, and then there's specialized ones that we'll get into later. But right now, what I want to look at would also be, we're going to need to make a few things when we get up there, such as the space manufacturer, and that requires 4 space assembly machines, which we already have. I'll just need to take up there. Cosmic water, which we'll make up there, and then engines, heat shielding, and low density structures, and fast inserters. So I believe I put some engines up in here. I did. Low density structures. We'll keep those out, and then I don't see anything else in here that was required. Possibly blue circuits. And most likely going to need glass for something. So another thing that we're going to need to make up there are decontamination facilities. which actually requires vulcanite blocks, so we can't do that just yet. We won't worry about it. In fact, actually, let's look and see. When we get up there, there are 1,000 of the space rocket science already there for us. And with that 1,000, what do we need? What's the most important thing to unlock? And honestly, all these other things can be set up later. I'm thinking we make our bots fly faster for one thing, because we can do 2 levels of this. That's 150 and then 250. So that's 400 of them. That'll leave us with 600. We'll probably be able to grab a worker robot size, so increase how much they can carry. That will put us up to 600 and leave 400 for us to research. Let's see, what would be a good one for 400 to get? Actually, what we may do is just grab a few of the other ones. And then we'll have to look into what do we need to expand up there. Because we're going to be super limited to begin with. So let's grab our scaffolding. We're going to need some space assemblers. We'll definitely need some more inserters. So we will go grab some of those. Now, there's a lot of stuff up there other than just the science packs too. There's some random resources you need to get started with. We just need to look at what they are in particular. But we're going to grab a full stack of 50. I want 2 stacks of 50 of the fast inserters in case I need to spot craft some stack inserters. And I don't think we're going to need any burner inserters. We'll go ahead and just put those in there to be consumed by the crafting. Now, I think we're good to go on that. And I did notice, I think there's some vulcanite blocks already in space, so we may be able to build what we need to build. But our first trip up there is going to be to see what's going on, place down our scaffolding, expand the buildable area some, and then we'll come back down to the planet with a better idea of what we need to do. We're definitely going to need the life support. And in fact, we need to go ahead and swap to the thruster suit. That way we don't have any mishaps. And you'll see it says life support efficiency 300%. Life suit duration 5 minutes in space. Inventory life support duration 8 hours, 15 minutes, and 0 seconds. That's a long time I can just be in space, hanging out, doing stuff that I need to do. So we're going to put up these extra turrets, all the things that I don't necessarily need. We won't need the tank in space. Alright. Well, let's go into space. Let's see what it looks like. General vicinity, because we don't have the landing pad placed yet. Hopefully everything goes well. Here we go. They did really good with the graphics for this. Alright. And wow, we actually landed pretty much right on target here. That's impressive. There's a chance that doesn't happen. There's a chance you just go flying off into space. Now I'm going to grab all this scrap. Ooh, like I was saying, when you get going, it'll send you flying off somewhere, so you have to be careful or you'll wind up way off in outer space. Oh, I did not mean to pick up that solar panel. And this is the wreckage of our rocket, the bulk of it. This gives us a bunch of scrap back. When you have a landing pad, you'll get some of the cargo rocket sections back. You still get, don't go flying off. You still get some scrap no matter what, but you can also do research that makes it better. Alright, so we've cleaned it up. Oh, that is so terrifying when you slip off the edge and just start flying away. But I'm just going to expand this out. You have to be very careful because it gives you a little warning and it says tile changes below entities may delete the entity. You notice the cargo pods, 10 of them survived and actually landed. If you alter the underneath them on accident, it has a chance to delete them and all of their contents. If you fired a bunch of stuff up into space with you, it can get deleted. So you have to be careful what you're doing. But I am going to expand this out just a bit here. And then we can place down our science lab, which looks crazy awesome. Can I put all of this science into it? No, it'll only hold 200 of each. So we need to move a chest right over beside it, but not touching it. And then put a stack inserter right here with all of the rest of our research. And we can start researching. And you're going to see this is really, really fast. We'll grab cargo size first, and then robot speed, 2 levels of that. Uh-oh. I didn't bring something up here. Yellows. Oh, what a shame. Well, that'll be for the next trip up here. It's a good example of what can happen. So, another thing we're going to test out here are these guns. We're definitely going to play around with that. I gave you a little bit of stuff. So, this allows you to move very quickly. These, whatever this is. What is this called? Space platform plating allows you to move quickly. You'll see I move slow, but when I get on that, I zoom around really fast. So I'm going to just put this right down through here to give me a little road to expand on. And let's look. Yeah, so I want to try and stay inside the range of this. That's really cool that this asteroid piece is within range. I can use that for building. But I want to go no further than the range that the pylon, that's what it's called, works in. I do want to move this out of the way here. Let's reduce that down so it doesn't replace, because if you place this underneath it again, there's a chance it will delete it. Oh boy, oh, scary, scary, scary. I kind of have a fear of just floating off into nothingness. I mean, I know this is a video game, but it still gives me an unnerving feeling to know that you could just float off endlessly. Now in this, you respawn, and you'll respawn back down on the planet if you just float off and have to kill yourself. It's still not a happy feeling though. Okay, and I'm just going to expand out one section over here down to the corner of where it can go. And I realize I just placed a bunch of that too far out. Luckily I have absurdly fast mining speed, so we can pick it all up really fast. And I think I can go one more, right? Yep, okay. Oh, that's eating away at this. So do we move faster on the scaffolding or on the asteroid? On the asteroid we move faster. You have a reduced speed on the scaffolding. So I'm going to try and make use of that and not replace the asteroid but simply build right up underneath it, right up to it, so you can just go from one to the other. It's going to look a little weird, and eventually we'll have all of this with scaffolding and with the plating. The plating has to be unlocked through research, and we are not to the point where we can unlock that yet. So I want to look at a few things, primarily being, what does it take to make this? I didn't bring in enough ingredients. Oh, it also requires cosmic water to craft that? I was not paying attention to that, so we'll have to make cosmic water first. Which means we will have to make the decontamination facility, because I'm fairly certain that's where you make cosmic water, and it is with water and lubricant, which I'm already barreling water. I'm going to barrel lubricant and bring it up here. We have a little bit right here. We can actually get started making some of this right now. But what I want to do is I want to be mindful of what I'm doing here, so I'm not fixing everything constantly. We're going to place this down here, and the reason for that is I have access to all four sides for where I want to unload it. I just realized it put a bunch of speed modules in there. I did not intend that. It's because I shift clicked in my inventory. I'd rather have productivity modules in it, because you're going to find out when we get this thing running, it's already really fast. But like I was saying, I want to look into if we are going to set up fluids, the moving of the fluids. We're going to have to unbarrel water. We're going to have to unbarrel other things. And I think I'm probably going to do that just to the side over here of this, so we could unload here and then have some fluid storages of different types right over here. So we're going to bring back up a lot of different things. But the first thing I really want to do is make some warehouses and a few other things. I can't believe I forgot to bring the yellows here. I didn't even look to see they included the yellow science there. And I have a ton. I've got more than 1,000 that I could bring up here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back down, grab all of our science that we can and bring it back up here, and probably put down more than one chest and craft more than one stack inserter so it can run. And we will see about maybe making some space pipes. So if I choose this, it will return us to novice, but next time we come up here we have a landing pad to aim for, and when we're going back down to the surface right now we have a landing pad to aim for. Yep, so it puts us right next to it. We have a whole bunch of scrap from that crash landing, and there's also scrap right here. I'm going to put just a storage chest and fill it with scrap right there. So let's go grab our yellow science packs before we forget, and those are made right down here. In fact, since we're going to start doing our science in space, we need to grab all of our science packs and pick up our science labs down here. We no longer need them. Wow, that was... Wait a minute. Did I not set the buffer for this chest? No, it's buffered. There was a small chest I had beside it that had 500 something. I don't recall forgetting to put the buffer there, so I don't know where I have so many yellow science from. But hey, I already have them. That just saves me time later on when we need to craft science packs. We've already got all of those that we're going to need. So I no longer need to request these here. We're going to be requesting them and taking them immediately up into space from now on. So we can pick all of this up. We also need to be picking up our greens and reds and putting them into a passive provider chest. I needed, what, red circuits for that? That's simple. I know where a few of those are. That only gives me one. Oh, still. Forget I don't have all of my normal things. And my inventory is filling up rapidly, so let's run over here and dump this stuff into the rocket, which should be built now. And you see, I have the space capsule. I landed with it. It's still in my inventory, and I can put it right back in here. And there you go. Next rocket. So we're going to load that thing up with science packs. And since we have the landing pad, as long as we have a successful landing, when we go back up there, every one of those will end up in the landing pad. If we have a mishap and we miss our target, which I need to go ahead and set as novice orbit landing pad, we have a 99.02% chance of landing. But that less than 1% chance that you don't, you'll miss, randomly crash somewhere, and it'll do the same thing. There'll be scrap everywhere and a mess to pick up. But you can do it. I'm going to need 2 filter stack inserters. You're going to grab greens because you're on this side. And we want to limit it to 1,000. You will grab reds. There we go. Very easy. Oh. I don't have my regular armor ends. My power armor, which has the chip that allows the nanobots to work inside of logistics networks. And we can very easily fix that by just swapping the armor back out. Now they should work. There we go. We're just going to clean all this up because we no longer need it out here. And then I will find a good use for all of these things. And we're going to take all of these science packs up into space with us. And then we're going to be able to do a whole lot of research up there. We'll just have to figure out what we need to do to get the setup running to make the rocket science up there. And that's not bad. It takes the decontamination facilities and some of those space construction, space assembly manufacturers, whatever they're called. And we will grab those when we go back up there. And we were going to need heat shielding, some more electric engines, more low density structures. So we're going to take a little bit of everything that we need up there. Before we do, we need to make some more of the warehouses, because we're going to need somewhere to put all these things. And I really want to play around with this Tesla gun. The cryo gun makes a wall of ice, but then it thaws. I know what that does. And so you can freeze, you can create a barrier that the biters have to run around, but you can also freeze the biters. The only thing is it doesn't actually kill them. They thaw out and then they come after you. However, the Tesla gun should be shooting lightning, and that'll be fun to watch. But probably in the next episode I'll do that. Let's dump these science packs in here. Okay, we have a lot of yellows. That's what we were lacking there. We're going to need some steel, some iron, and what was it? Stone brick to make some more of these warehouses. Where's my stone brick? I think I stopped it right back over here where I was making some landfill on the line. There. There's a few warehouses. But I want to get back up there and show y'all just how quick the science actually moves. And we're going to take these pressure tanks and put them up there. I needed the chem lab. Piping. I don't think I need the undergrounds, but we'll bring them anyways. Just general base resources that are good to have. Okay, and now let's double check this. So empty barrels, we're going to have empty barrels when we start unloading the fluids that we're going to barrel and take up there. And we can make some of those in our pocket. There were vulcanite blocks up there. Solar panels we're going to need. And then we needed to make a decontamination facility. I have everything there. I need more low densities and more engines. We'll take a handful of batteries. Grab low densities, engines, heat shielding. Where's my heat shielding? Solar panels we're going to need along the way. We'll take 50 up there. Oh, wow, I'm running right past heat shielding, going, where's the heat shielding? It would probably help if I paid attention. There we go. So, we have everything necessary for that except for the cosmic water, which is made in a decontamination facility, which will combine water and lubricant. What do I need to make these? So, I will need these space fluid pipes before I can really get into moving any of these things, and I don't have those, and I'll need to get that set up. So it looks like that's going to be for next episode. We're going to go ahead and head back up there, and I want to show you just how fast this science moves. I'll keep this stuff that's in my inventory. No, that is right. It just gave me a warning telling me that I'm going to suffocate, because you know what I was not wearing? My thruster suit. Which is airtight. The power armor is not airtight. Don't forget to change to your thruster suit before you launch into space. Otherwise, you might start suffocating when you get up there. And nobody wants to do that. Alright, we are moving right on along. It builds the rocket pretty quick off of that small assembly line we have there. So this is a successful landing. You see everything comes down and goes right into here. And you see I get cargo rocket sections back, which will allow me progress towards the next one. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10, 22 it looks like. And that makes 44% of the next rocket I get back out of this one. We're going to take our yellows, throw them up here, and get them running. But I want to show you, this is after it's slowed down by all of these productivity modules. This is how quick it moves, even after being, you know, quote unquote slow. So it is just churning right through them, and because of the productivity, every now and then we get double progress, which is wonderful. I'm just gonna toss every one of these science packs I can into the chest for now, and then I'm going to place down one of the warehouses that I crafted and empty things that I know I'm going to need up here. That way I can grab the cargo rocket sections out. Now that this is empty, I don't have to worry about not being able to come land here next time I come up here. However, I think that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed it and you feel like it, please like my video. And if you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you all next time.